I sold a painting the other day to this guy who does like OnlyFans content for other women. And I met this woman who was doing content while I was selling my painting. And I just seen her walking past with her kid. Like with a whole bunch of shopping bags, and they walking past and they talking, and she's like just vibing with her kid. And we get so caught up in what people do for a living and how they're making their money that we start to dehumanize them to where it's like, sorry, I got gum in my mouth. To where it's like, does that take away from her being a mom because of the way that she's making money to support her kid? She can always grow. She can always become different. She can always become better. She can always do something different, yes, but does that take away from her still being a mother to her child? No, it doesn't. You know, life is life, but you have to continually like make it work for you with what you got with where you are, and stop trying to make it be perfect. Like, it took me so long to come out here to record this video because I'm like, where's the perfect spot for me to record? How can I go with your vision? Because I kept seeing this place in my head. I kept seeing it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go out there and record content. And I'm thinking I'm about to come out here and show you guys my outfit, and everything was going wrong with that. I was like, I don't like it. The lighting's ugly. Then I sat down to record my video, what I was originally supposed to be doing, and it looks great. So it's like, follow what is in your mind, where God is leading you, where your spirit is leading you. Yes, people want to see your outfit. Yes, people want to say get ready with me content and stuff like that, but don't lead with it. So cute. Okay, let that be extra. Do what it is that you have set out to do first, and everything extra that comes up, like, okay, I'm gonna record to get ready with me, I'm gonna record my outfit, do that after you do the big thing. Because we're so worried about the aesthetic and so worried about the small things that we skip over the most important things. By the time we get to the most important thing, we tired. We are worn out. We're burnt out, and we don't even have the energy or the right mind. We're not even in the right mind state anymore to do the thing that we set out to do. Because we spent all of our time on aesthetics. Follow your spirit. I seen this place in my mind. Okay? And I thought about everything that can go wrong. What if I don't have a key to get back in the building? Okay, I only have the key to the door to get inside the apartment. So I'm like, what if I get locked out? What if I was going out to do something, like get some pizza or do something leisure oriented, I would not have cared about how I was going to get back in here. I would have just knew. So it's like, I need to have that same energy when I walk out to do the important things. We quick to figure something out when it comes to leisure, when it comes to aesthetic, when it comes to money. But when it comes to that important thing that your spirit has been leading you towards doing, we come up with all the excuses in the world. We got every excuse in the world. Okay? And that's a cycle. Because the moment that you step out to go do that thing, all the fear comes up, all the anxiousness comes up, everything that is trying to stop you from moving forward, from progressing in a different way, from breaking the cycle that you're in, you go against it. You go against it. And that's a cycle too. How many times have you done that? You've gone in a 360 circle of doubt, of fear, of overthinking, of never mind, of procrastination. I'll do it tomorrow. That is a cycle you are stuck in. So do not care about the things that can come up against you, because at the end of the day, the weapon will form, but it won't prosper. So it's going to try to come up against you. Might take you a while to get back in the building, but that doesn't mean you're not going to get back in it. That doesn't mean that it's not going to come to fruition. That doesn't mean that it's not going to happen for you. Okay? So moving forward, the moment that you decide who you want to be, and you're no longer lukewarm and going back and forth with it, is the moment every single irritation possible is going to try to come up against you so that you won't walk through the threshold of that door, of that breakthrough. That is how the cycle of the enemy works. That's the cycle we're going to call it, because that's what he does. I have been working on my video ebook called Defeating Doubt, which is an ebook about cycles and how we keep getting caught in cycles unconsciously. That opens up the door to the enemy to be able to use us. That gets in the way of our breakthrough because we're unconsciously agreeing to these cycles we've been conditioned to accept. That we've been conditioned to get used to. Oh, that always happens. You know, that runs in the family. Like, oh, whatever, it is what it is. We get so used to dealing with these things that we think it's supposed to be normal, and it's not. It's a cycle. So every single time things start going good for you, the first thing that comes out your mouth is something bad must be about to happen. No, that's a cycle. And you're accepting it and willing it and calling it to you by even speaking that something bad is about to happen out your mouth, because that's what you're used to accepting. I've been working on this video ebook for a while now. Finally got to the point where I felt like it was time to release it. Went to go release it, and all of a sudden I have no storage to be able to download it or upload it at all. So I delete everything out of my iPad, everything, even things that I needed or thought I needed, deleted it so that the storage could clear so that I could download this video, right? Nothing worked. Nothing worked. My phone kept saying that I did not have the storage that I visibly saw that I had, visibly could see. And I found myself about to be frustrated. And I had some moments where I was like, Lord, I had some moments, but I kept finding other ways to get through it. Okay, if I have to cut the video down and do it in parts, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, if I have to edit it on 3 different phones and airdrop this part to somebody else to delete and edit, if I have to do that, that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I did. And it's released and it is out now. Okay, the link is in my bio. The link is in the description box. The link is wherever you can type words within whatever platform I post this to. The link is up. So go break your cycle right now, because you can get out of that cycle sooner than you think. Sooner than you think. Sooner than your circumstances are allowing you to perceive. Okay? So everything was coming up against me. God had to show me. He had to confirm to me, because I read his word. I might not know the Bible front to back, but I know some important things and I'm going to continue to learn. But he confirmed his word. For he knows the plans. Do not lean on your own understanding, because he knows what he's doing. He knows how this thing's going to go, and he knows how and when it needs to be released. So don't lean on your own understanding. I wanted to release it last weekend. God wanted it to be released today, because there was something that I need to learn over the past week that needed to be added. There were things that needed to be added to that ebook that were going to break people free. This video needed to be made, and I would only be able to make it because of the experience that I had this weekend. We be at the threshold of the door, and all of these irritants come up against us. This spiritual warfare comes up against us. And because we're so frustrated by it, then we allow things that we typically would not allow in, because we just need a break. Because we're tired, because we're irritated. We're not thinking out of our right mind. We're getting caught up on what's happening right now. Letting go of our faith and backtracking and backsliding. While the whole time you're backtracking and backsliding, God is reminding you of who you are. Reminding you of why you are where you are. Reminding you. And then after the situation happens and you backtrack and you go against your word and you do something you didn't want to do, then you're internalizing everything so deeply. Which is not always a bad thing, because that's how you reflect. But the only thing that is wrong with when you internalize stuff that happens in your life is you get caught up in shame. So if you're not aware enough to stop and say, hold on, shame is not God. I shouldn't feel shameful about this. I shouldn't feel like I'm in a place of regret. Everything that happens to me is a lesson. Everything that happens to me is elevation. I had to pull myself out of that space this weekend because I backtracked. I went against my word. I went against my standard. I went against it. Now I'm in the section in the club. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with having fun, but my fun looks different now. I'm not on demon time. I'm not on low vibrational energy. And that's not to say that everybody in the club is low vibrating. It's just to say when you on alcohol and you around certain energy, you are more open to things that you cannot see. So now you involved in things that you don't need to be involved in, and doing things that you don't need to do, and settling for things you don't need to settle for a lifestyle or a look. Okay? My fun looks different. My fun looks different, and I'm spiritually aware. I'm spiritually aware, so I need to be aware enough and confident enough in myself to make sure I say, I'm okay. And that doesn't make me too good. That just says, okay, I need to set the atmosphere and plan the next event so that I can invite people into my space. Spiritual warfare is going to come. It's never going to stop. But the way that you can get through spiritual warfare effortlessly, to where it's easy, to where you laughing things off, to where you just happy. Like, have you ever seen a person like that? They be happy about everything. The worst thing can be happening to them in their life and you wouldn't even know it. They got a smile on their face. It's because they are aware of what is coming up against them. They're speaking against it. They're acting like they believe in that thing that they know is going to happen in their life. Okay? They believe God. They believe his word. So yeah, they might get frustrated. They might have some sad days, but they getting right back up and trying it again and doing it again. Better than the last time. Spiritual warfare is going to come up against you, but it is how you operate when you are going through that spiritual warfare that is going to change how things come to fruition for you. We are caught up in a cycle that we do not see, and that cycle is allowing your past to pull you back when you're about to step into your future. That is a cycle. So every single time you're about to get into the season of your breakthrough fully, you're starting to see the remnants, that you're starting to see the signs of your breakthrough coming. All of a sudden you're making more money. I literally created an art, a canvas. I do art from time. I love art. I love painting. I love creating. So I create all the time. I reupholster things. I got that from my mama. Okay? We didn't even know we was poor until we got older and started seeing, okay, hold on, it's a little poverty around here. We didn't know that. Because my mom made sure that she could turn trash into gold. She was reupholstering things, going to Goodwill and putting pieces together to make the house look like we lived in a mini mansion. Everywhere we went, even if it wasn't our house. And we were just passing through because we needed somewhere to stay. I got that from my mama. I'm very appreciative for that in life. So I be reupholstering things and reselling them. So I created a painting, which I'm going to link right here, and I'm going to keep making them. So if you are interested, do not hesitate to follow me on Instagram and turn the post notifications on so you can see when each piece drops. Okay? You can also pre-order some pieces because I have found the suppliers for everything that I need to continue to recreate it over and over and over again. So you need this in your living room, honey. All right, it is a statement piece. People are going to be like, what is that? Where did you get it from? And wow. All right. So I created a canvas, a painting, an art piece. I created something luxury. All right. And I'm walking on the elevator, sold like that. Next day, received the money, gave the person their painting. Like that. You will see signs of your breakthrough. You will see signs of increase. You will see signs of abundance. You will see signs of it. But also while you're still elevating, because listen, you can have a great day where you made a sale and then you don't make a sale for a whole nother week. You will be tested and you will be tried. Can you handle what it is that you're asking for? Can you handle what it is that you're going towards? Can you handle it? Are you passionate about this thing? Will you execute despite adversity? Will you operate in the spirit of excellence no matter what? Will you be thankful for the little things, even the irritants? Will you express gratitude when you don't see what you should be grateful for? Let's be honest. Okay? So days will be like this. But God is going to show you signs of your breakthrough. And you have to continue to fight for that thing until you get all the way through the door to where that season, it is your season. It's abundance all throughout the season. You want it to stop. It's becoming so much that you need help. But before you get to that full breakthrough, before you get there, you have to be tested and tried. So the cycle is you get caught at the threshold every single time before you fully walk into that season of continuous breakthrough and abundance. You get caught at the threshold. So now you're irritated because spiritual warfare is coming up against you. Everything that is trying to make you stop is going to come and try you so that you can stop. Because that low vibration wants you to settle. It wants you to backtrack. It does not want you to get to the place that God is calling you to get to, because you're going to break chains off of people's lives. You're going to break poverty off your family. You're going to do big things and shift the atmosphere to where the enemy can't kick his feet up in your house no more. He can't kick his feet up in your bloodline any longer. You are the answer to that. You are the door opener for your family. The enemy don't want you to get there. So the cycle is every single time you get to that threshold, spiritual warfare come up against you so heavy. And instead of you continuously fighting and saying, I done been through worse. Okay, I've seen this thing in my mind. I know I can hold it in my hands. I know I am supposed to be there and I'm going to get there. I'm going to have that thing. I'm going to have that business. My mom's not going to have to work no more. Instead of you staying in alignment and focus on what you know is going to come to fruition, you get caught up in the irritants and you get frustrated. And the moment that you get irritated, the moment that you get frustrated, the moment that you're like, oh, is the moment where all these invitations come. All these doors that you have closed are going to try to come back so that you can reopen them and walk back through them. And now you done tested it and you done walked back through a door, tiptoed in it, and now you're in deep regret and in shame, and you're going through an entire cycle of that to where you feel like, oh, I'm not in right standing. God is mad at me. Oh, I have to start all over. Why would I? I coulda, shoulda, woulda. And you're in all this regret and shame and overthinking and doubt. To where it takes you a month, it takes you a week, it takes you days to get back up and try again. No. No, you have to be aware of the spiritual warfare that is coming up against you in the cycle that you are caught in so that you know how to pivot out of it. The moment that you make that mistake, I'm out. Okay, I don't have to wait till I get tired of being tired. Where I'm rolling out on my bed on the floor just asking God to please give me another chance. If you let me get up from this, I've been there on the bathroom floor crying. Okay, feeling like I'm too weak to get up. You don't have to wait to that point to exit out this cycle. You can get out of it as soon as you make the mistake while you in it. And the crazy thing about God is he already knows the path that you will take. So he is in that mistake that you're making. And you think it's a mistake, but God knows its purpose. I learned something from this situation that I had this weekend. I learned something from that encounter. I learned something from that. I'm playing gospel music on the way to backtracking. Playing gospel music. Thinking that because I'm different, because I've grown, because I've healed in certain areas, that I'm equipped to handle the entire room and shift the entire atmosphere. If that entire atmosphere is going against what is in you, you're not going to win that battle, baby. If you weren't assigned for that. If you weren't called to be in that space for that reason. God will tell you what spaces you're supposed to be in and why you're supposed to be in them. Because you'll feel that unction on your heart. You'll feel that call. You'll feel that pull. You're not wanting to do the things that you want to do for no reason. You don't want to come out here and sit in the middle of a place where people are walking past saying you talk to a camera for nothing. You don't want to make those videos for nothing. You don't want to create those paintings for nothing. You don't want to sing for nothing. You don't want to start a business for nothing. You don't want to work that job or do that thing for nothing. There's a purpose in it. So you have to go where your spirit is being called. Not go to the places where you think you're supposed to be. No, I know I'm supposed to be here. So when I step in here differently because I know my purpose in this place. You have to really sit down and reflect and think about everything. And don't be so quick to speak. Don't be so quick to offer. Don't be so quick to say yes when you haven't even thought about what you have to do tomorrow, what your goals are, or what you're trying to accomplish. I'm just like, oh yeah, I'll come. You have deadlines to meet, girl. You got a whole business you rolling out, a whole video ebook that you're releasing, people life that you speaking into, and you just said yes real quick and you're going to put all that on the back burner? And you want to call out, you want to say no, but because you're in a new position in your life to where you're standing on your word and you're trying to do better with showing up and not speaking too quick, now you're like, I already agreed to come, so I need to stand on my word. Because that's the standard that I'm holding myself to with the smallest things. That's what I said. Because I've grown up in survival mode, it's quick to just be like, oh no, I'm not gonna come. Oh no, never mind. Oh yeah, that thing that we've been talking about for a month, I'm not gonna do it last minute, 10 minutes before we're supposed to pull up. No, never mind, because I've been in survival. I'm saying yes, but I might not have it here. I'm not prepping properly. I'm just moving and going with the flow and how I see fit for how it fits in life right now. I'm not thinking about the future. Growing up in survival mode will do that to you. It'll even make you discard people quick. It's like, oh, okay, it's over. Oh, okay, no, whatever. All right, well, like if you've moved to a lot of different, like I moved to so many different high schools, so many schools in general. When I was coming up, your hair is so cute. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. I moved to so many different schools growing up, high school, middle school, just always moving. So it got to the point where I didn't want to get to know nobody. I'm the new girl. I might be leaving here in a month. I don't want to get to know nobody. I don't want no friends. So it was quick for me to disassociate from my life, disassociate from my relationships, disassociate from everything that was happening around me and within me. So when you've grown up in survival mode, can have you disassociating from life, from people, from places, from things. Once you move from a place, it's like, oh, I'm not talking to nobody from that place anymore because I'm not there no more. You just keeping it pushing because you're used to surviving. Growing up in survival mode, y'all, it will have you not aware of your surroundings. Situational awareness is not your thing. You're just going with the moment. It is what it is. I'm going to figure it out when it comes. You're not thinking things all the way through to the end. You're just going with what comes. And that's being lukewarm and double-minded and going back and forth. You need to know why you're in the room, why you're accepting a certain thing, why you're saying yes, okay? And when you can show up. There's so much that goes into life that we don't think about. In our childhood and trauma and survival and things play a major part in that. So in this season, you have to think deep about everything. And it's crazy because the world and people will make you feel like, oh, you too deep. Oh, you just go too deep every time. That's me. You know how many times I've been told that? Like, you think too deep. It's not that serious. It is. It is. Because one mistake, one choice, one decision can change your entire life, can change everything. So you have to think deep in every situation, in every relationship, in every decision that you're about to make. Because, listen, I used to be, and I struggle with this sometimes still. Okay, I'm still healing and I'm very transparent in my healing journey. I'm very transparent about what I have conquered and what I'm conquering. Okay, I know that's a part of my purpose, and we can't be acting like we're perfect. We can't act like we always have it together. Even though you're walking with God and you've healed in certain areas, it does not mean you're perfect. It just means that you're progressing. So be transparent in your walk. Be transparent in your testimony. Don't think you have to have everything together. Everybody trying to fit in a category, in a niche, in a pocket, in an aesthetic, to where they not even sharing their real lives or what they go through. No. Then they being idolized by people, and people are trying to mimic their lives, not knowing they go through real things too. All this glitz and glamour and money and partying and things of that nature, there is a wild side behind all of that. Yes, they got the money on the front end, but what on the back end, what are they dealing with for that money? Okay? What do they think about before they go to bed? Do they constantly have to drown themselves out not to think, and that's why they spend all their money on alcohol and going out? There is a lifestyle and consequences and things that come behind that are... There are a set of problems, a set of consequences, a set of sacrifices behind every decision and every move that you make. That's why you have to think things through all the way to the end before you make that decision. And I used to get offended by that because I like being a butterfly. I like being free. That's part of my feminine energy, to go with the moment and go with the vibe. But you can still be feminine and a butterfly and free and still think things all the way out. Okay? That doesn't mean just go with anything that comes. It means, okay, yeah, I am a free spirit, but I'm not so free to the point where I will allow my spirit to just be around anything. Okay? I'm not just going to let anything fly because I'm a free spirit. No, I need to know what is around me while I'm flying free. Okay? I don't want to have to watch my back or look over my shoulder, or think that I'm entertaining good spirits or good energy, and I'm not, because I'm not thinking about anything. I'm not aware. I'm not even vetting the people I'm around because I'm just going with the wind and the seas and the waves. Okay? So you can still be feminine and also know what you are around, know what you are in, and know what you are agreeing to. And that's why a lot of men have problems with us, especially when we're in relationships, because it's like, wait, why didn't you think about that? You just said yes and you just about to go and you didn't think. Why do other people have so much control over you when you make these decisions? Why are you acting like you don't have control over anything? Why didn't you think these things through? Men think things through all the way to the end. Sometimes they too stiff, okay? And that's when we have to come along and soften things up. But sometimes we're too soft and we're too open to where we let anything in. And the men have to come in and ground us so that we know what to accept and what to do and how to move. So I used to get offended when men I would date would be like, you too free. You too open. You too inviting. Like, you can't just be moving like this. You need to think this through all the way to the end. You can't just be sporadic, because what is that going to come with? I used to get offended, but now I truly understand. Because we so kind-hearted and we're so loving and we're so free that we be letting anything in our face. Okay, and it look good on the front end, but on the back end, it come with a whole lot of stuff that you don't need to allow in your space. It's going to taint your energy and taint your space. And I also have to add this. We have to stop always saying, that's the first time I did that. I only did that one time. Like, it's turning into all of this because the first time I did it. Us as women, we don't nip things in the bud the first time. We let it slide a couple of times to where it becomes a habit, and then we be so frustrated by that habit that has been formed that it's a constant battle every single day. Men, They cut that thing off the first time. You show them that the first time they checking it. If they see a sign the first time they saying something. And we think they being harsh because we're used to being kind-hearted and letting things slide and giving people the benefit of the doubt when you're not supposed to benefit doubt at all. So we have to nip that in the bud. The first time it happens, it has to be checked. It has to be addressed. It has to be evaluated so that everything else can change. The standard can change. Because if you're just used to lowering your standard, letting things slide, and then it comes a point in time in your life where it's like you've transitioned or changed and you want something different, when you try to go back to change that thing that you've accepted for a while, it's hard to set a new standard. It's hard to change that pattern because you let it slide so many times. You be knowing the first time that something's off. You be knowing the first time that you don't like it, that you don't agree. So you have to have that conversation and really reflect deeply on what it is, how it made you feel, how it affected you, so that you can reposition the entire thing, whatever that is for you. Okay? For me, it was I went against my word. I said I'm going to be here in an hour and a half, and now I'm coming home at 5:30 in the morning. I said I'm not going to drink, and now I'm coming home at 5:30 in the morning drunk. And it's like, wait, hold on. We need to check this right now because you can't be going against your word. I don't want to be with a woman who is out at 5-6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, that's when the women who are open and down for anything, that's when they out. Okay, that's when the leftover women are out who men are just trying to pick up to have something to carry home at night. That's when weird energy comes out. People that's on demon time. So the woman that I'm with, I don't want her on that time. And I had to be like, you're absolutely correct. But my whole argument was, this is my first time doing this. I didn't even know it was going to turn out like this. You feel me? I said I was going to be here for an hour and a half. By the time we even got in there, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning. And then I started having a good time. So I got caught up in having a good time. And I didn't even consider home. That's a problem. Because the moment that we're not considered, it's a problem. Okay? It's a problem. The first time. But when it becomes a first time for us, the first thing we say is, I only did this one time. So, no. You have to be held accountable in that first time so that that standard can be set and everything can be repositioned to where the energy is different. To where your standard is changed. Because a lot of the times you be having good men in your life who are telling you about yourself because they care and they want you to be better and they see your potential. But because you have been so used to being picked on, overlooked, insecure, you're quick to be offended by that type of thing. You're quick to be offended by people checking you because they love you. So you completely go against it and disregard what they said instead of reevaluating and reflecting on what they said so that you can heighten your position and your posture. Because why am I out here till 5:30 in the morning? Okay? Why? All right? And the exact advice I was given was that your mystery as a woman is your superpower. So nobody should be able to even have that much access to you. You show up, you say, hey, you do a little cute 1-2, have a conversation, and you dip. Now you're being thought about the entire night. You're not caught up in the shenanigans and the late night stuff and the drama at the end of the night. Okay? You're not being overlooked and discarded because it's like you're vibrating low by trying to be in the mix. Oh, all right? So it's like, y'all, childhood trauma, survival mode, a lot of things play a part with the way that we respond and the way that we move in life. It plays a major part. And we are in a season of rebirth, renewal, restoration. Okay, so it's time for you to align with who you have been predestined to be, who God has called you to be. It's not time to be lukewarm, going back and forth between who you are supposed to be and desire to be and who you used to be and no longer want to be. That version of you, you're constantly cussing out. You're constantly mad at. You're constantly questioning. And then you are seeing in your mind this version of you that is living the life that you've always dreamed of. But you keep trying to be that version of you in spaces and relationships and places that only hold you to a standard of the old you. I'm running out of storage and my phone is dying. So I'm like, let me go ahead and edit this so I can release this, clear up some storage and make the next thing. We are not going to let storage stop us. We are not going to allow anything to get in our way. Okay, this is a season of restoration. So there are many things that are going to try to come up against you to get you to stop, to get you to stand still, to get you to be stagnant and lead you to depression. Okay, so that you will not receive your breakthrough, so that your breakthrough will be delayed. because your breakthrough is promised and is yours, but it can be delayed. And I know you are sick and tired of being sick and tired and sick and tired of being in delay. You're ready, okay? It's time. So we're not letting nothing stop us this season. And I pray that you receive revelation from this video. As always, I pray also that you left better than you came, okay? I'm sending you nothing but love, and I will see you next video. Be sure to grab your copy of Defeating Doubt so we can pinpoint what cycle you are caught in and how it continues to show up in your life and how you unconsciously keep accepting it, thinking that is normal when it's not, and you can break free. Okay? You can have everything that you desire, everything that you see in your mind, everything that you have prayed for, but you are in the way and causing delay because of the things that you are accepting, the things that you have been conditioned to accept. So grab your copy of Defeating Doubt and come break these cycles with me. Okay, it is a video ebook, so you don't have to read by yourself or be in it alone. We're going to speak, we're going to talk, we're going to laugh. Okay, we're going to share, we're going to be vulnerable, and revelation, breakthrough, and restoration is going to come. Okay, it's time. I love you guys as always. All of the information that you need will be in the description box below. So make sure you connect with me. Okay, hit me up. Ask me questions. Send in video topics if you want to hear me speak about something specific. I'll pray on it and make something for you. Okay? And I'll let you know when I release it. So, love you lots. See you later. And thank you for tuning in as always.